Okay, I got a story to tell you. And I don't come off looking very good on this one. So it's kind of funny, but really sad. So I'm probably 12 or 13. I was a tightly wound kid. I was a little uptight and I was funny and I was charming, but I didn't always choose to be charming or funny. And a lot of things bugged me, and I was constantly thinking about me and thinking about these damn braces that were on my teeth and worried about my cleft lip, and I had more than a couple of pimples, and baseball as I got older was starting to get a little bit, I wasn't killing it like I did when I was younger, and just a lot of things bubbling. I knew I was smart, but I was having a hard time kind of finding myself. Now, I'm not proud of it, possess a bit of a temper. And I have tried really, really hard to suppress my temper, especially with Queenie and with the kids. Sometimes better than others, but I never hit. But I have an unruly tongue. There are words coming out of my aged mouth sometimes that shouldn't be coming out of my mouth, but what the heck, I'm Rivers. So let me tell you what happened back when I was, I think, 14 or maybe 15. One of the fashions back in the day were what are called Weejuns. They were slip-ons, and they were considered pretty boss, pretty nifty. And at the time, what you would do sometimes is you'd take off the leather sole and you'd put on a Vibram sole, kind of what we would call waffle stompers, okay? And so what it did was, it was the thing to do, and you thought you were really cool. It wasn't cool, but it was kind of what you thought it was. And I'd wear those, and they were pretty heavy, like pretty darn heavy. So I was at home on a Saturday morning, and something set me off. Maybe it was my sister, or maybe it was just me being me. And I lost my temper. And you know what I did? I'm really ashamed to tell you this. And don't use it against me, okay? Please don't use it against me. I was wearing my Weejuns, and I was really upset with something. I went into my room, I slammed the door, and I thought, I'm ticked off. And so I thought, I'm going to throw off one of my Weejuan slip-ons and kick it off my foot as hard as I can against the wall. And I did it. It was like my left foot, and it was very satisfying. Wow, it felt pretty dang good. And I thought, man, if it feels pretty dang good doing it once, it sounded with a big thud. It didn't put a hole in the wall or anything. And so then I said, well, I'm going to do the right foot. And I'm pretty ticked off. And so I kicked it, only somehow the trajectory of this flying shoe that had a Vibram sole on a Weejuan slip-on sort of went off course just a little bit. And guess what happened? You're never going to guess. It went flying out my window, and the glass broke. It shattered. Well, that left me in a little bit of a pickle. Why? Well, if my dad or mom were to walk past my room, they would feel the breeze of a February Saturday morning coming in, and they would see that the window had this big gaping hole in it. I mean, what the heck was I thinking? And so I very humbly, I'm really good at this, by the way. I very humbly went to my dad and I said, Dad, I got something I got to tell you. He says, well, tell me, Steve. And I explained to him what had happened. And I don't remember him flying off the handle saying, you idiot, what are you doing? I mean, get your crap together. He just kind of nodded his head And he said, we're going to have to fix it, and I want you to help me. Oh boy, what could I say? No, I'm busy with some friends, and I don't have time to do that. So we first fixed it by cutting a piece of cardboard to cover the hole. And then he scrounged from, I think it was the First Security Bank warehouse. He was able to secure a piece of glass, pay some money for it, that fit that window. And we spent the following Saturday, it was very cold, by the way, fitting that glass into the window. And I will tell you that I love my dad. And my dad had a temper, but he didn't lose it with me. I was shocked. He wasn't very thrilled, mind you. He was not as chatty or as talkative as he normally would be. But we spent a couple of hours putting the glass in place on a February Saturday morning, and my dad didn't blow sky high. He didn't call me names. He didn't hit me. I knew he was disappointed, and that's all I needed. I knew that I needed to get my stuff together, and I needed to control my temper. And so I just want you to control your temper. And I just love my dad so much, and that he didn't overreact. And he never brought it up again. He didn't say, when we were at family parties, he said, hey, you want to know what my stupid son did? He kicked his shoe through the window. Not with me there. He never brought it up. And he did that with some other incidents in my life that I'll tell you about, that I was just blown away with his self-control. And I knew that he loved me, and I knew, and he made an incredible impression on me, that I needed to control my temper. So, control your temper and don't kick your shoes through the window. That's it.